everybody. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Hi, everybody. It's graduation day. This is my graduation gown. It is. How are you? When I used to go through graduation, through commencement with my students, I wore this. And I thought, you know, here I am at home. This sits in my closet. And I was like, I'm going to put this on. I haven't worn this since I graduated some doctoral students about 10 years ago. So it's kind of nice to dust it off. My parents bought this for me as a graduation gift, which was a really big deal for them and for me at the time. And so I've always felt really guilty that I don't wear it anymore, right? So I'm like, well, we can bust that out. So I want to say to you, congratulations. You are graduating today as a crystal healer. And this is a big deal. So if you haven't seen a robe like this before, the 3 bars on the robe means I'm a doctor. Did you know that? So you get 3 bars if you are a JD, a PhD, or an MD. You have to be a medical doctor, a doctor of jurisprudence, or a DDS, a doctor of dental science, or a PhD. So when you see people with 3 bands, it means we did a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a doctoral degree. So this was back in the day, which that was 20 years ago for me. So it seems like a really long time. So anyway, and I'm very short. I look like a full-on tomato in this. I mean, this is not, let's just be very clear, this is not sexy or attractive. It really isn't. I really do look like a very small, round tomato, but I'm very proud when I put this on. I worked very hard to get there. And I do want to thank my parents because they did. They bought this for me as a graduation gift. It's true. And EDD and, oh, DMP too? I didn't know that. EDD too, for sure. I forgot to include the EDDs, yes. And I think PsyD. Am I right? The PsyDs too do, right? The doctors of psychology that are not PhDs or psychiatrists, don't PsyDs get it too? I could be wrong. Anyway, you want to see the whole thing? Hold on. I didn't zip it up or anything, so I'm just wearing it over my little pants. Let's see. I can't go out. How far back can I go? I look like a tomato. So anyway, I'm actually a little bit cold. Yes, on PsyD? Okay, good. I'm actually a little cold, so I'm going to wear it until I'm not cold, and then I'll take it off. PharmD too? Yes, for the pharmacists who give us the drugs. PharmD too. You know, thank you for that. I like being a juicy tomato. So it's not orange. It may look orange. It's actually a blood red. It's just probably plain not red on camera. And that's because my PhD is from the University of Southern California. And the University of Southern California's colors are cardinal, which is this color, and gold. And we were one of the few institutions in the U.S. who had these vibrant color robes. Everybody else's is black, and that's why I wanted one. They were so expensive at the time. I think it was like $1,000 to have this. And I wasn't going to get one. I wasn't going to buy one. You can rent one. And my parents were like, you worked so hard. Because I had scholarships all the way through college and graduate school. I actually never paid tuition in college or graduate school. Because I got scholarships. I was very lucky. In the beginning, they were like financial aid scholarships. And then as I started getting good grades, I got scholarships and my PhD was free. So my parents were like, the whole thing was free, so, let's buy you a robe. And I really appreciated it, so. Veterinarians, too. Veterinarians get the 3 stripes, right? Anyway, Arizona State is maroon. I like it. So fight on. I'm a Trojan. That's where I met Dave. I was doing my doctoral degree when I met Dave. So $1,000 is very expensive, but this was custom made for me. So they take your entire measurements. It's monogrammed. It's a big deal. So, you know, I know it was a big deal. I wasn't going to buy one, and my parents did it. So I will always be grateful to them for that. It was a really huge deal at the time. And for them, that was like Christmas, my birthday, Hanukkah, Yule, Easter, Valentine's Day in one. It's like, you're welcome. So anyway, okay. See, Cindy Nolan had scholarships all the way through graduate school too. Don't be too impressed. I mean, I was a good student, but you know, there are a lot of good students in the world. Did I say something about being a virgin? I don't think so. That's not one word I would use to describe myself. I don't think so. Anyway, welcome to Crystal Masters graduation, where we're talking about virginity and tomatoes and scholarships, and this is very, very appropriate for all of us, right? Anyway, I hope it's not annoying that I chose to wear it. I genuinely chose to wear it because I still feel like I graduate students who've made huge achievements, and I don't get the pleasure of shaking your hand, hugging you, handing the diploma to you the way I did with my students before. I don't get that pleasure. So for me, tonight's very emotional for me because I know what it takes to complete a program. And so I just want to tell you, it's a big old deal to finish a crystal healing program, to do all the work that you did this year. And I'm going to say something else. To do all of that work during a pandemic, during a global financial crisis, right? Like, I mean, you have overcome so many odds to be here in this moment. And the fact that at the end of this year, where it's been weird, you know what I mean? And you are at the end of this year where most people have not done any program of study. They've barely been hanging on. Do you know what I mean? They've barely hung on to their life and their kids and their dog and what, and their sanity. And here you guys are, not just hanging on. You're here saying, you know what? I did this, man. And I did it during the hardest year of human history in modern times. And I committed to this, and I said yes to this, and I completed this. I did everything. It wasn't easy, right? A lot of the things I've asked you to think about and learn and integrate this year are challenging. I do not pull punches with you guys. I don't throw softballs. I hit you with what I got, and I ask you to keep up with a lot, and you absolutely did it. So I want to say to you today, I am proud of you. I'm thankful for you. Whether this is the end of your road with my classes or whether you're continuing into 2021, I just want to take this moment to say, you did it. And nobody did it but you. Because you said, yes, I'm going to do this at the end of this year. I'm not going to say this was just a pandemic or this was just to this or this was just to that. You're going to say, you know what, 2020 is the year I became a crystal healer. And I will tell you, I have every faith. There are so many crystal healers in the world who don't know what you know, right? And who haven't gone through this program and haven't really come to understand all the things that you now have integrated into your practice. So you are above and beyond equipped, beyond ready, and beyond talented. So I want to take this moment and you should soak it in because you are graduating today. And I did not set out to make this easy. I set out to make this good. And you persevered. So I do. I have high expectations of you. This is not just something anybody can do. This is a real graduation. And I take it as seriously as I took those doctoral students all those years ago. I take you guys every single bit as seriously. So thank you for being here. And I'm very proud of you. You know what? Go ahead and cry a little bit. If those tears are about being proud of you, because in this fucked up year you chose to achieve, then you should be proud of that. Because again, most people, and you know what, I'm not judging them, because for some people, just getting by is all they could do this year. They couldn't commit to anything, and I get that too, right? But you guys made a different choice, and you should be really proud. And I am very proud of you. That's right. Joy said, I hung on sometimes on a thread. I know. And not just you, Joy, but everybody else who's here too. And so everybody who's here rose to the occasion, and I just want to completely bow to you. I see you. I really, really do. Okay, I have so much to teach you tonight. I do want to teach you tonight. I also want to celebrate tonight. We have a graduation ceremony. Oh, you didn't think that we would just have a class and not have a ceremony. I spent this morning, so I have all of your names here. It reminds me of the Book of the Dead. I know you and all your names. I have every single person who has completed the 12 months in this jar. So you are here. And so I did a couple of things this morning. I'll tell you more about it as we go. I went through my stone collection. Where are the other ones? There they are. I went through my stone collection this morning with my pendulum. And so first I took this generator into meditation this morning. This generator was gifted to me by one of my teachers. Just to kind of give you the backstory. This generator was gifted to me by one of my teachers about maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. It was after a plant medicine ceremony. And it's self-healed. It's really a gorgeous quartz point, and it's the one that kind of said, take me. So I programmed this generator this morning. We're coming up on a new moon, right? So this is a releasing phase of the moon. This is a waning phase of the moon. So I programmed this quartz to release any obstacles to your success, your prosperity, your wealth, your joy, your abundance, your everything that you desire as a result of being in this class. So I just ask that any obstacles that you would face this year, next year, for the rest of your journey will be released with ease through this crystal. So that will go in tonight. And then the other stones I chose, because I wanted to choose 4 stones to kind of anchor the 4 directions, and those will go in here too. So I'm just kind of sharing with you what I'm doing tonight when we're done with class. And it was hard to choose. I mean, you guys are crystal experts, right? And I'm like, well, this is intimidating. Like, what 4 stones do I choose for them as wishes for you, as graduates, right? So, so I chose, first of all, I chose Peach Moonstone for you because I'm so committed to your passion. I think the fact that you love crystals is everything, and it will carry you through. It'll carry you through challenging times, through difficult times. When you lose your faith, it's like these stones are your allies in this process. And so I wanted something that represented your pure passion. So this will go in there tonight when we do our ceremony. I couldn't, of course, not put citrine in there because, and this is kind of funny, it may be funny to you. I really wish for your financial wealth and prosperity. And it's always been this thing in metaphysical communities where people don't talk about money because they think it makes them greedy, but the reality is you need money in order to create a business, in order to buy a home, in order to make a life for your family, in order to engage in the things that you love and you enjoy. And I think everybody should have all the resources they need to make their dreams come true without feeling like they got to scrimp and, scrounge and all of that. So I chose this one. It's one of my personal crystals. It's a Congo citrine point that's been polished. And so, because I pray for your absolute prosperity through the work that you do. I think the more you have, the better. I really do. And I've said this continuously. If you haven't learned yet, you will learn that your prosperity is not enough. It doesn't matter if you're prosperous. Think about it. If you're prosperous and nobody else is that really a world where you want to live? You need everybody else to be prosperous too, so that they can create their own magic that you will enjoy. you can't enjoy this life if you're prosperous and nobody else is. Think about it. All the people who are going to create the restaurants that you're going to love taking your grandkids to one day, don't you want them to be prosperous so they can build that? All the people who are going to make advances in medicine to help heal your family one day and your grandchildren, don't you want them to have everything they need for what they're doing? It's like you do. So, so this is going to go into your jar tonight because I wish for your prosperity. And then I was like, well, you got to have tanzanite. So tanzanite, I chose a really big, beautiful piece of tanzanite to go in here for you. Tanzanite is, of course, the member of the Synergy 12 that's associated with intuition and vision, and you need that. I think if you're going to be a good crystal healer, you gotta be able to see beyond what's in front of your face, right? You got to be able to have senses that are beyond the normal human senses, and tanzanite's my favorite for that. Tanzanite, nazurite, and sapphire. For me, that's the holy trinity of like seeing clearly, understanding, getting information from different sources, and really clarifying your spirit gifts. So a big old piece of tanzanite will be going in there. And then the last stone was kind of emotional. And so I'm just telling you, this is how I spent my morning with my pendulum and my crystals, like, and having all these emotional moments. So the last stone, and we'll do this at the end of class tonight, the last stone that I chose to go in for you is one of the only pieces I have left of blue-green kyanite. And blue-green kyanite, it was really funny when my pendulum said yes to this, because this was the first crystal that I was given when I was diagnosed with MS, which was, it's almost 11 years ago now. Can you believe it? And at the time, my friend who's a crystal healer said, because I asked, what do I need, in your opinion? And he said, you gotta have Tibetan quartz, you gotta have sujilite, you gotta have udilite, which at the time nobody could find. It was very rare, so I was worried about that. He's like, you gotta have blue-green kyanite, because the central nervous system is out of order for you, and you've got to bring it back into alignment. And so when my pendulum said yes to this was really, at the time, was my own crystal healing. Do you know? Like, I lost my vision. I couldn't drive a car. I couldn't take my kids outside of the house. I couldn't go to the grocery store. I couldn't even go down the stairs in my house by myself, right? So this was my crystal healing stone that I believe, the piece that I held through all my infusions and everything is still in my bedroom. It sits next to my bed. I treasure it. So I was like, look at that. You know what I mean? Talk about coming full circle. Because crystal healing, I believe, has been a big part of my journey. And so it felt really right to put that into your graduation container tonight, too. Ooh. And if I'm missing anything in the feed, I apologize. I'm trying to kind of be focused with you. I do see some of your comments, so it sounds like some of you are having some challenges, and I see you. So I do believe that the world needs this medicine, and I believe that the world needs your medicine. I think the world needs you. And one of the things I'm learning as I get older, is it needs all of us, right? I can only do so much. I can only extend my work so much. I can only help so many people. And so each one of us is needed in order to bring all of this healing into the world right now. I can't do it alone. I need you. And that's why I'm so grateful that you set out on this journey. Yeah, I lost my vision. That's actually how I was diagnosed. It was a really terrifying time. I was traveling on business. I was consulting in Tennessee. Actually, I was in Tennessee, and I woke up in the morning and I was trying to get ready. I had a really early client meeting, and just sharing in case you haven't heard. And because this is really why Sage Goddess came to be, right? I had a very early client meeting. It was like 7 a.m. And I was getting ready in my hotel room, in a Howard Johnson hotel room. And all of a sudden the room went dark. It was washing my face and everything, and the room went completely dark. And I got really scared. At first I thought maybe it was the room, and then I realized it was my eyes. And so at a certain point I had to sit down because I couldn't see anything. And so I called Dave. And I said, I'm sitting here in Tennessee and I can't see. And he was like, okay. Poor Dave, he's like, okay. And the kids were like 1 and 3, right? Okay. I was in Chattanooga. That's right. I was consulting to the electric company, the gas and electric company in Chattanooga. And anyway, long story short, the CEO of the company I was consulting to, Dave said, why don't you call your boss and call the head of the company that you're supposed to be consulting to in 15 minutes and let them know. And so I called the CEO of the company. I called my boss in DC, and she gave me the number of the CEO. And she said, call his cell phone and just let him know, and we'll get you what you need. So I called him, and he said, oh my God, because I'd been working with him. And he's like, don't worry, stay where you are. I will get a car for you, and I will make an appointment for you with my ophthalmologist here in Chattanooga, and we'll get you in this morning. And don't worry that, we'll cancel today's training, and don't worry. I was very scared. I was very young, relatively speaking. I was like 36 years old, And I wanted to do a good job. I've been working on this training program for them for 6 months, so it was a really big deal. And I was scheduled to go from Chattanooga to Germany to work for Siemens, if you remember the technology company. So I was supposed to go from Chattanooga back to Dulles Airport in DC 2 days later, and then off to Berlin. And so, anyway, long story short, I ended up in an ophthalmologist's office, and he looked at me and he said, are you from you're from LA? And I said, yeah. And he said, where'd you go to school? And I said, USC. And he goes, uh-oh, I'm a Bruin. And I'm like, really? You went to UCLA? And so he made me laugh, and he said, you either have a brain tumor or you have MS. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're a smart person. You'll go online and figure this out on your own if I don't tell you. So you either have a brain tumor or you have MS. The bottom line is we have to get you home. And I don't want to delay this because I need to get you into an MRI, and I don't have any MRI machines in Chattanooga. And I'm telling you this because one day you'll have a client who comes to you, is just like in these crazy conditions. And I said, do you think it's a brain tumor? And he said, I don't know. I really won't know until we get you into an MRI. But let's get you back to San Diego, or San Francisco, which is where I was living at the time. And let's get you into an MRI and let's see what's going on. So I flew back, terrified, right, with 2 little kids. Had to tell Dave that, And so when I got home, my only prayer was, please let it be MS, because, brain tumor is obviously much worse. And so MS is multiple sclerosis. So anyway, long story short, when they called me to tell me I had MS, I was the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. The doctor, so I didn't get my results I had to go the whole weekend not knowing if I had a brain tumor, and I couldn't see, right? So I flew home. I don't even know how. The people on the flight were so kind, and David was there to pick me up. And so anyway, I ended up having my MRI like 3 days later, and when my doctor called me and said, I have good news, Athena, it's MS. I was like, yes! What's MS? What do I do now? But I literally was crying tears of joy because I just wanted to live to see my kids get older. So anyway, I'm telling you this because crystal healing, I honestly believe, I had a really serious case, and, lost my vision in my left eye first, and then 3 months later, lost my vision in my right eye. So I couldn't drive for about 6 months. And during that time, it was a lot of soul searching. You know what I mean? Am I in the right career? So I wasn't completely blind. They considered me 60%, so that's beyond the legal threshold to drive. When I covered my one eye, I could kind of see, but there was a point where I couldn't see anything between the loss of one eye and the loss of the other. So every morning, Dave would wake up in the morning and get my attention, and then he would go like this. How many fingers am I holding up? And I would go, 4. And he would go, how many fingers am I holding up? And I would say, 2. And so one day, about 6 months later, he went like this, how many fingers am I holding up? And I said, 4. And all I remember is him putting his arms around me and saying, we're here, we made it. So anyway, crystal healing, I honestly believe, one of the reasons I teach you crystal healing is, I do think Western medicine is really important. I absolutely do. And I take Western medicine. I think it's really important. Do I think I would be where I am today with just Western medicine? No, I don't. Like 3,000%, I don't. I don't think I would be here with just Western medicine. I think it's mantra. I think it's crystals. I think it's vibration. I think it's energy work. I think it's everything else that I've learned along the way. You know what I mean? I think it's understanding how energy flows in the body. And I think it's understanding the meridians, and it's learning how to send and receive energy and working with healers that has allowed me to persevere. And so I really appreciate you guys too. And you know what? My hope is that you never encounter anything like that. My hope is that you go through your life and it's easy peasy for you, and you never struggle in any significant way. But if you ever do struggle, maybe hearing my story will remind you. You know, a lot of times when people come to me and find Sage Goddess, it's because they've just gotten a big scary diagnosis. And someone tells them, you should go over there. You know, she got a scary diagnosis and she didn't let it define her. You know, go and talk to her. And so may you never know such a thing. But if anything ever does transpire to you or your family, may they know that there's always a different way. And I think it's the universe presents all of these tools and opportunities and, I don't know, energy lines and energy streams to give you everything that you need to come back to perfect health. I have 20/20 vision. I mean, it's like not perfect, but it's as close to perfect. It's like, I think it's 2019. It's not perfect, but I don't need glasses, which is crazy. I have no optic nerve damage. Like, how does that even happen? Even my doctor's like, you know what? You're weird. I don't know. You do all these things. You drum, you chant, you do your mala and your mantra and your stones and I don't know, your oils and shit. And I don't know what you're doing, but it's working and you should keep doing it. So I'm always going to tell you, I don't know what's working for you, but you should keep doing it. And crystals are a big part of that for me. So thank you. And for those of you who also have autoimmune, I think it's part of what bonds us together, because you know I've been through it, because you know I've hit that wall and I've come back. And so I hope that I can inspire you to remember too, because it did. It was my initiation. It was a dark night of the soul, man. But I will tell you something right now. If the universe said to me today, we can take the MS, sorry about that, I would say, nope. I'm grateful for it. It has taught me a lot. It's taken a lot. It's also taught me a lot. And it has led me to a path that's in complete alignment. MS is the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. And it was the biggest gift because I get to still be here with my kids. So I am beyond grateful, right? Look at the comments in the feed. I see all of you, right? It's really, really true. And I see you. So I will always be here to remind you of all of that. And I wish you perfect health all the time, so that you never, never, never have to have any of those kinds of conversations. It's true. Okay. So we're doing a little ceremony tonight. So I'm going to burn some things. You want to burn some things? Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. It's, I will tell you, it's much easier for me to work with people who I know have had a wound. Whenever I meet somebody and the picture just looks too perfect, I'm always like, yeah, but have you struggled? Where have you, I interview my teachers before I work with them. And I'm always like, so what's your struggle? Where have you struggled? What have you overcome? Personally, to get where you are. Because that means something to me. It means they're going to understand when I struggle. If the path has been too easy for people, sometimes I feel like they don't learn what they need to learn in order to transform. And they don't learn to have the level of empathy that comes with really understanding the nature of the energies we just talked about, right? So there's something about what they call the wounded healer. That heartbreak, Those of you asking about certificates, by the way, I'm letting Alexis respond to you because she has all the details on certificates, so I don't want you to think I'm not paying attention, but Alexis has got you covered. Oh, thank you for that. I really appreciate your kind words. Shelly said, I found you after my dad passed from stage 4 cancer. Yeah. It's, you will face challenges in your life. I mean, that is sort of the one universal truth. But I think it's how you approach those challenges that defines you as a person. And then I think it's whether you follow the breadcrumbs, like, oh, I'm being led to crystal healing. Oh, I'm being led to herbalism. Oh, I'm being led to, and it's like just paying attention, listening. Where's the universe leading me, right? So, yeah, isn't that true? So true. So, yeah, Jerry says, I knew this life was going to be hard when I was 10. It's a contract, right? It is a contract. Yeah, so Alexis, they're asking you about certificates. Would you be so kind as to just post the information one more time so everybody knows how they're going to get their certificates? And I'm excited for you to get your certificate, by the way, because it's beautiful. So Melissa's asking a couple of others. I just want to make sure everybody knows how they're going to get their certificate. Yeah, I see you, Brittany. And agoraphobia runs in my family. Agora in Greek is the marketplace, so agoraphobia is fear of the marketplace. Yeah, so it's hard to go out, which, agoraphobics right now are, pandemic is kind of really good for us because we don't have to go to the marketplace, right? It's true. Oh my goodness, I see all of you. Zydecker Rose. I see you. Yeah, I don't doubt it, too, Lenny, for you. I don't doubt it. That's really true. So I did want to have that moment with you tonight because if anyone ever asks you why crystal healing, or do you really believe that stuff? I think it's important for you to know that it's good to believe that stuff. I believe that stuff. My doctors believe that stuff. They do. And I have some of the best doctors in the world. My doctor is the head of neurology at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA, right? It's like, she's really good. She's like, I don't know what you do, but it's working, so keep doing it, right? So yes, everything is the same as your previous certificate, so everything comes signed by me personally from Sage Goddess. All of that, you'll get all of that, yeah. Look at that. Kimberly, you and I have so much in common, it's just crazy, right? Yeah, it's really nuts. So the answer is crystals do work. And hopefully after this year you understand more of how they work, right? Each crystal has its own signature, its own fingerprint, its own vibration. And just by being in your space, it's adjusting you. They find you, right? And have you ever noticed that you'll buy a crystal and it isn't yours? It has to go to somebody else. So that crystal will be like, thank you for buying me. I actually have to go be with Anna. Or thank you for buying me. Please give me to Laura. Have you ever had crystals do that? Like they almost sit there and go, I'm not for you. I'm not for you. I need to go to somebody else. So sometimes that stuff happens too. But I love it. Yeah, Deb says she really healed her thyroid issues with blue kyanite. I have no doubt. Because blue kyanite vibrates at that blue ray. And it's activating all of those energies through your throat, right? And I met Nurse Sandy through Lauren and Rock. I mean, it's just all these incredible connections. Yeah, so the certificates are mailed to you. I didn't see Alexis's comment, but I think she commented. So anyway, just make sure you're looking for Alexis or where it says Sage Goddess, and she'll give you all the details on how to get your certificate. Yeah. So she's saying certificates are available on sagegoddess.com as a free listing at the beginning of January. You'll just have to pay for shipping, and then we print them and ship them to you. So it's kind of like your amulet next year for Soul Shift. It's free, but you just pay for your shipping. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. So we're all good on that. Okay. So now I want to come back and teach you. Thank you for that, Alexis. I will tell you something. I have to explain far less to people now than I did 10 years ago. When I started Sage Goddess 10 years ago, I had to explain a lot to people, especially scientists. Like, you're doing what with, because I'm a scientist, right? So it's like, you're what with who and what? Now, those same people come to me. Hey, I saw your video. Do you have any kyanite? I'm kind of dizzy. Or, hey, I saw your video. Do you have any citrine? Do you have any bloodstone? I'm in pain. You know, I don't have to explain as much anymore. So I think we've crossed a threshold. Yeah. So, okay. So tonight is all about this. So if you have a mala tonight, you'll get to physically hold the thing while we do the thing. You don't have to have a mala tonight. I always say the tools are optional because I'll count for you. So if you don't have a mala tonight, it's okay. You can just recite the mantras with me. I'll count for you so that you don't have to worry about it. But this was your tool for the month. It is 108 beads total, including the guru bead. And so some of you were, asking in the Facebook group today, so I just want to clarify. You need to have, you guys are so sweet. You need to have 108 beads in your mala. You can have 107 plus the guru bead, it's still 108. Or you can have 108 beads plus the guru bead, which is 109. Either one of those configurations is perfect. I believe this is 107 and then the guru bead is 108. So you're fine as long as you have the 108. They've all been shipped. It will tell you we're in a pandemic, so poor USPS is sometimes a little bit delayed, but everything is on its way to you. So if you don't have it yet, it will be in your hands very, very soon. So if you don't have yours yet or you didn't get the tool this month, I don't want you to go anywhere because I will keep count for you, and I still want you to learn about malas. And then as a graduation gift, we have given you 20% off sagegoddess.com and put all of the malas that we have left in our inventory into your class tools section. So if after tonight you're like, I really do want to get a mala, I'll show you at the end what we have left. We have a little bit of 3 different kinds of malas. You can also make your own mala, and there's lots of beautiful mala vendors on Etsy too. So we're not the only mala shop in town, but I'll show you what we have. You can use your discount, or you can go on Etsy, or you can make your own. I would like to inspire you to try to make one. It's really fun. It will take you a few hours, and it's frustrating at first because knotting the beads is a challenge. But once you get your hang of it, if you have a little extra time right now, you might consider actually making your own. Sometimes when you make your own tools, they're even more special. So I sell malas. Other people do too. We had it as the class tool. But I'm just going to tell you, it might be kind of cool for you to try making your own. I still have the first mala I ever made, and it's not perfect. But I made it, and it's special to me. So you might consider that too. Yeah. You have a knot maker. I don't like the knot maker because, I don't know. I make my own knots, and they're little shitty knots sometimes. I don't always make the best knots, but you know what? They're my knots, and they're great. But if you look at my malas, you can be like, her knots are not that great. Whatever, it's okay. My career on this planet is not a professional knot maker for malas. I have different gifts. So yeah, Emily's made her own. It's fun, right? Michelle says the hardest part is getting the supplies, which is true. You can, yours from class, by the way, if they had knotted it, would have been $40. And so I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how we got a $20 mala for you in real stones. It was really hard to do. So they offered to hand knot it, but it would have been $40 instead of $20, and I didn't want to change the price of your tools. So your mala is not hand knotted just because that would be 3 times the amount of time, and so you can't really find those for $20. Our malas on sagegoddess.com are between $60 and $90 a piece, but they are hand knotted, and so make your own, I think it's a great thing. So I'll show you at the end of tonight what we have, but you can also make your own too. Okay, you ready to learn? Can I teach ya? The knots go between each bead. MJ makes bomb malas. Why didn't I bring my mala up from MJ, I did a whole bija mantra with your mala and I left it downstairs. MJ gifted me a mala. She makes bomb malas. Maybe that's your new business name, MJ, bomb malas. Yeah, you should. And Londa, and if you make one, will you do me a favor and post it? I would just like to see it. I get really excited because everybody makes them kind of a different way, you know, and so it's really cool to see like what your artistry looks like. Yeah. So anyway, whatever you've got is perfect and right on time. So I'm going to teach you some history. Ready? Get all teacherly on you for a second. This is your note-taking time, although Alexis is taking notes, so you don't have to, but I am going to go through all my notes with you right now, so put on your thinking cap and get ready. Okay. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about the history of mantra. Tonight, what we're going to be doing, we're going to recite 7 mantras together. I know, but they're short mantras, and it won't take us that long. This is something new. I've never done this live, so it's kind of fun, and I always try to make classes different. There are 7 chakras in your body. One of them is at your perineum, right? You know where that is, right? I don't have to explain that to you or take a picture or show you mine because it'll get real awkward. But you're sitting on your perineum, and that's where your root chakra is. And then at the top of your head, and I think you know this, right? You have 2 soft spots in your body. If you've had children, you know this. When my kids, their soft spots closed on the top of their head, I got really sad. And do you know why? And if you don't know this, it'll change your perspective on soft spots. When you have a baby, thank you, Anna, it is the date. When you have a baby, the top of their head has like if you run your hand over it, the skull is not formed completely. It's super creepy, actually. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Some of you have kids or have had god babies or nieces or nephews. It's like when you touch the top of their head, like the top of their head's like not fully closed. It's super freaky. And as they get a little bit older, is it 6 months or 12 months, the top of their skull hardens, and so they lose that soft spot. Did you know, this is what I love. Come on, Stephen. The connection closes. So the soft spot is where you entered your body when you came into this thing. It's super creepy. But once I figured out what it was, because I would like brush their hair, their little like fuzz. They didn't really. My kids were like bald, the fontanelle. But like I would touch it and kind of get freaked out, or like try to brush their little weird fuzz. They didn't really have hair, like little fuzzers over it. It's like, this is so weird. Yours never closed all the way. Elizabeth Moore, that's actually like a sign of high spiritual ascension. Katie says hers is still open. Isn't that cool? Mine's definitely closed. But anyway, this is 6 months. So that's where you came into your body. That's where your spirit came into your body. And so it's said that your spirit enters the crown and leaves through the root. Have you heard that? So you'll leave one day down there. You came in through there, kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, I so remember the time when Nick's soft spot closed, and I was sad because it's the last of their channeling. You know what I mean? It's like spirit has this like direct line of contact with babies until that soft spot closes, right? So yeah, and then so when the soft spot closes, you know they've like they lose that. It's like their antennae they're fully human at that point, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They've lost their channel. I know. So some of you who still have your soft spot open, and you know, you're lucky. I don't have that, and a lot of people I know don't have that either. So you have these 7 chakras, and so tonight we're going to recite what's called the bija. Bija means seed in Sanskrit, so we're going to recite the seed mantras for each one of the chakras, which is a single syllable. And I really want you to learn these because when you are in trouble, right, when you feel unsafe, or when somebody like, have you ever had that where have you ever felt your solar plexus? When somebody disrespects you or treats you without respect, have you ever felt that feeling where like it's like a kick in the stomach? It's happened to me not a ton of times in my life, but enough where I know it. Like where somebody talks to you, talks down to you, or makes you just feel like, whoa, you feel like shit, and it like hits you in the gut. That's your solar plexus. That's because it's hitting you in that place where it's like, that's my confidence, you know? So each one of these mantras, so if that happens, there's a mantra for that. If you feel unsafe, there's a mantra for that. If you have disturbance at the sacral chakra, there's a mantra for that. If your heart is aching, there's a mantra, right? You felt that feeling, right? I remember I was a waitress, and I was like, I think I was 20. I used to wait tables all through college because it was just something I was good at and I knew how to do it and it was good money. And I remember being a waitress, and I remember I had a customer one time and he talked to me. He was so disrespectful. I'll never forget it. Like I was waiting tables at Mimi's Cafe. I don't know if you know what that restaurant is, but anyway, it's a chain of restaurants. And I remember I was standing in like the cafe part and taking their order. And I remember it was a husband and a wife, and the husband turned to me and I don't even remember what he said, but it was like, it was so awful. Like I was so dumb or something, you know, like just like telling me to get away and like, we're not ready yet. And like, how would you even know? It was something awful. And I just remember like, I almost like caved in on myself. I just felt this like kick. So that's what I'm saying. Whenever you feel in pain, if it hits the solar plexus, if it hits the root, if it hits the heart, you know, if it hits the throat where you're like, oh, I can't talk all of a sudden, or if it hits your third eye, these are awful feelings, but now you'll have these bija mantras, these seed mantras that you can recite that will really help to, in the minute, you know what I mean, spin up. Like, if I had known that, I would have started reciting the solar plexus bija mantra. I would have gone back to the kitchen instead of crying. I would have just done a quick 108 series of the solar plexus mantra. I'd probably been okay. Instead, I kind of sucked it up and finished my shift, you know what I mean? So I contracted on it, which is probably why I still think about it. Oh, thank you for that. Jessica, my grandmother's recipes they still serve them at restaurants here in California, so thank you for telling me that. It makes me really happy. Anyway, yeah, so now you'll have these. So bija is B-I-J-A. Thank you, Busy with Brilliance. So B-I-J-A, which means seed in Sanskrit. So you can call them seed mantras, you can call them bija mantras. Larissa said she's thrown up. If it's bad enough, you'll vomit. If that solar plexus attack is like hard enough, like you will get sick. And that's why I'm teaching these things to you tonight, because as a crystal healer, at some point, somebody's going to call you. A client's going to call you and go, oh my God, I'm at work and I just had this customer and, you know, I can't even talk. It was so bad. And you're just going to say, Ram. And your client will say, what? And you're going to say, you need to go somewhere and it's quiet. You need 4 minutes to recite it 108 times. And you need to say, Ram, 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 Ram. You need to power up that solar plexus. Because when you say it 108 times, it seals the chakra. So at that point, you can't contract on it. Or when you have a partner who breaks up with you, like, I don't want to be with you anymore, I'm going to run off with Jolene. Right? Probably dating myself. I love the song Jolene. But anyway, I'm going to run off with Jolene and I don't want you anymore. You're going to come back to that and go, yum, 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 right? So when you have these moments in your life where like something catches you off guard, you'll know the bija mantra or the seed mantra to give to your client or to do for yourself, right? Ooh. Yeah, people's energy can be intense. You like rum? It's close to rum. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna do these tonight. Did you see them? Did you see the meme that's been going around about Jolene? Are you guys old enough to know about Dolly Parton and Jolene? There's a meme going around of Dolly Parton, right? Who, I don't know how old Dolly Parton is, but she's so sexy still. I'm just like, I don't know what that is, but she's just hot. And somebody was like, check out Dolly Parton at 75 or 80. I want to know what kind of magic Jolene was working that got her man away from her. It's true. Okay. So, mantra goes back 4,000 years, and it takes us back to what's known as the Rig Veda. The Vedas, and that's V-E-D-A-S, right? Okay, good. I'm not the only one who knows who Jolene is. It's definitely not something I was going to name my daughter. I've met very few Jolenes in my life, and I think Dolly is responsible for that. She's sexy, man. I mean, come on now. If I look like that at 74, however I got there, I'm going to celebrate it. But anyway, so mantra takes us back 4,000 years. It takes us back, pre-modern times. And that's because mantra comes from the Vedas, which are the oldest spiritual texts on the planet. They are the origins of the Hindu practice, origins of the yoga practice, origins of the chakra practice. Okay? The simplest mantra, and it's thought to be the first mantra that was ever recited on this planet, is Om. And whether you spell that O-M or A-U-M, Aum, right? Aum. The Om mantra, and if you've ever recited mantra in a group, it's really incredible. If you've done that in yoga before, where everybody ohms together, our students used to do it when I was a graduate professor. We would Om at the beginning of class and Om at the end of class together, just to kind of like get into harmonics together. So Om is thought to be the first sound that was ever uttered in the universe. Did you know that? A lot of people say Om is the sound of the name of God, and it is, but because it's the sound of the name of God, it is the first sound that was ever uttered on the planet. And so third eye chakra and crown chakra both have Om as their bija mantra, their seed mantra, because that is above the head is all spirit in your body. From the neck down, from here down, is your physical force. One of the things I just learned this year from my energy healer that I'm working with that I thought you might find really interesting. So I had a session with her last week, and I thought this was fascinating. So we were talking about the Metatron's cube, and she was saying, why the Metatron's cube is so powerful is because it shows you there are circles and there are lines in geometry, right? The circles are the feminine and the lines are the masculine. So the lines direct the energy, the circles receive it and anchor it, right? And so she said, if you look at the Metatron's cube, it is the absolute synergy of masculine and feminine. Well, I'm going to teach you tonight. So I taught her. We were like giving each other some wisdom. I was like, well, the Sri Yantra, which I want to teach you about tonight. I meant to grab my Sri Yantra. I may still grab it if there's time at the end. The Sri Yantra is actually related to this as well, because the Sri Yantra has 54 lines. Have you seen the Sri Yantra? It's called the Yantra of Creation. I'll grab one if you haven't seen it before. And so what I said is interesting because the Sri Yantra has 54 lines, but it's called 108 because the lines in the Sri Yantra of creation are both feminine and masculine. There are 54 letters in Sanskrit. Did you know this? But because the letters in Sanskrit are both masculine and feminine, there are technically 108 letters. There's 2 inflections of 54 letters. And where I'm going with all of this is why the 108 in your mala. 108 is an incredibly powerful number. And there's more correspondences to 108 than even what I just shared with you. So your first chakra and your third and your fifth and your seventh are masculine. They're linear. Your root, think about it that way, your solar plexus, right? Your throat, your crown. These are your masculine, linear, structured chakras. The feminine chakras, and it makes sense, 2nd, 4th, 6th, those are your receptive chakras. Your sacral, right? Your heart, your third eye, right? Your ability to create and nurture and sustain life or give life, masculine, feminine, right? That's unstructured. Feminine, opening, receiving. Your heart, feminine, open, receiving. Third eye, feminine, open, receiving. So it was interesting because she was talking about the Metatron's cube and how masculine and feminine it is, and I was like, that makes perfect sense, and it totally reminds me of this wisdom as well in the Sri Yantra. So anyway, I wanted to give that to you too, because as we go through the bija mantras tonight, when we do the root, I want you to notice and I want you to really focus on manifesting the healing of the masculine, right? The masculine needs to feel safe at the root, right? I am safe. The masculine needs to feel powerful at the solar plexus. I am powerful. Right? The masculine needs to speak its truth. I speak my truth. And then the masculine needs to understand, right? I understand. These are like very linear. The feminine's like, I'm creative and I love and I see. So yeah, I thought some of that, understanding that the chakras are not equal, right? And they all have this duality, right? So masculine, 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 masculine up the chamber, feminine, 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 sort of trailing behind it and engaging more of the receptive energies. Okay. The Gayatri Mantra, a lot of people ask what the most powerful mantra in the world is. Have you heard the Gayatri Mantra? Did I sound like rock? Oh God, did I really? I'm actually really proud of that. He has a big booming voice and I tend not to, so anyway. This is my Diet 7-Up and I put lemon juice in it. Doesn't look very good. But I'm trying to drink the juice of 2 lemons a day right now. Okay. Whenever I gain a couple pounds, if I drink lemon juice, it all goes away. And I had lost 5 pounds and I gained 3 bags, and now I'm drinking my lemon juice again. Okay. I'm going to tell you something interesting about the Gayatri Mantra. You sure did, Randy Stearns. Okay. You need to listen to Deva Premal sing the Gayatri Mantra. Do you want me to play it for you real quick? Can I play it for you for just a second? Only if you're okay with it. I would like to play it for just a minute. Is it okay? Yeah, let me play it for just a minute. Just close your eyes. I'll link to it for you later. Takes you to a whole different level. So Gayatri Mantra, Gayatri, is one you can learn. I really appreciated that she and Mitten, who's her partner, went live with the Gayatri Mantra every day at the beginning of the pandemic from Costa Rica, and 108 times. I remember laying in my bathtub every day. I knew what time they were going live, and I would pour a salt bath. This was like in April, and I would lay there, Om Bhur Busva, Tat Savitor Vanyam. I would just go through the whole thing with them 108 times. Isn't it beautiful? It's an incredible one for journeying too. Okay, so it is believed that is the most powerful mantra. Truly. And what it does is it invokes the illumination of the sun in honor of God. And what I love is, it's honoring Krishna, right? It's a Hindu, it's a Sanskrit mantra, but it's God however you understand God to be, right? I feel close to God as I know God when I sing it and when I recite it and when I connect with her and I listen to it. So that's what it is. It's an invocation to illumination, to calling in the light of God. And so we'll post a link to her recording of it. I'll tell you something, there's a million recordings of it. This particular remix is my favorite, so I will link to this direct one. And we'll put the Sanskrit up for you and the translation up for you. Did you feel it? It just like really opens something in it. And Martha said her body started to sway back and forth like it would. And what's cool about Diva Premal too, she recites everything 108 times, but it just sounds like a song. Like you hardly recognize at the end of it that if you sing with her the whole time, you will have said it 108 times. Isn't that cool? So again, if you don't have a mala, if you just sing with her the whole time, whatever she's singing, just sing with her. She will take you through the 108. It's really cool. That's right, I sang it at the solstice. Do you remember? I did. I sang it at the solstice from Hawaii 4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, that's on, I'll link to it. It's on SoundCloud and Apple Music and everything, so I'll link to it for you later. Look at that. I love that so much. It is on my SoundCloud too, so but it's on, you can also download it on Apple Music. If you have Apple Music, it's easy too. So someone asked a great question and the feed went really quickly. You guys are so sweet. I like this robe right now because I'm warm. I got cold here. Someone was asking, what's the difference between mantra and chanting? It's a great question. So there's not that much difference. I'm trying to figure out what the nice balance of lighting is because it got dark. It's the same thing, okay? Mantra, manas in Sanskrit means mind, and tra, T-R-A, means tool in Sanskrit. Mantra is a mind tool to quiet you, to shut you up. Because if you're singing to Diva Premal, you can't also be angry, you can't be like worrying, it takes your mind it unhooks you from the worries of the day or your argument with your spouse or your kids or whatever. It's a mind tool to get you to be quiet. It truly is. That's all it is. So is it any different from chanting? Not really. Christians sometimes will, right? Christians sometimes will, and chanting, when you do mantra, you are chanting. So if you do your 108 recitations, you are chanting. Christians will just say, Jesus, 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 and call in the frequency of Jesus. We always say, Amen, Aho, so it is. That's kind of a mantra in a way. Another mantra, Baruch Atah Adonai, for Jewish people, right? Baruch Atah Adonai is the start of the Jewish prayers, the start of the Shabbat prayers, the start of our prayers at Hanukkah. I'm getting ready to celebrate Hanukkah with my family next week, right? So Baruch Atah Adonai in the Jewish tradition is considered a mantra. It means blessed art thou, O Lord. So every tradition has their mantras. The Gayatri mantra is said to be the most powerful. I had one experience once, I will tell you, with the Gayatri mantra. I heard someone sing it once, and they took it to a kind of a darker place. And it was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had, because what it reminded me is it's a tool, and it can be, I actually witnessed somebody using it in a darker way. So you will sometimes, don't just say, oh, if it's the Gayatri mantra, it's light and beautiful and all of these things. I actually witnessed that, and it was really disturbing. So there are people, just like there are people who quote the Bible and don't use it for good purposes, or quote other things, I actually heard someone once use that in a way that wasn't in alignment with light. So you always have to make sure that whoever you're listening to sing it is singing it for the purpose of raising a vibration and not for the purpose of manipulating the energy. Because I had that experience and it was troubling. So I just want to caution you of that too. It was a long time ago, so it hasn't happened recently, but that happened to me once. Now, I want to come back to Om for a second. You don't want to hear the darker one. That was not one of my favorite experiences. I won't say anything more about it. Om is also thought the Om vibration. There is polarity, but there's polarity and then there's off polarity into the ocean of not where you want to be. And that's what that is. I only listened to it for about 30 seconds before I realized what was happening, and I was like, stop. This is not what that is. Om is said to contain the vibration of every other sound that's ever been uttered on the planet. So not only was it the first sound, it's said to be the in some ways the only sound. It's a sound that includes every other sound that's ever been uttered on this planet. So it's the beginning and the end. Isn't that cool for Om? Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about Mala history. How does that happen? Someone with not a good intention. By dark, I mean evil. There's dark and there's evil. I'm down with dark. I'm not down with evil. That's why I was saying there's a spectrum of light and shadow that every person has. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm angry. Sometimes I'm loving. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm, I don't know, magical. Sometimes I'm destructive, right? That's dark. Evil goes off the scale of dark and like plunges into a river of nothing good. So when I say dark, I never have a judgment around dark. I have darkness, you have darkness. I mean, if you don't think so, I just have to tell you it's not true. You have it. But then there's dark that goes and that's where I won't travel that road. That road's real, but it doesn't have anything good at the end of it. So that's not where I dally, I have to say. Okay. I've actually had people who've come into my programs and said, I really want to explore more of that stuff. And I'm like, that's the door. There are plenty of teachers who will teach you that. I don't dabble in that for a second because I've seen what that is and it's real bad. So you want to do that? There probably are classes. I wouldn't even know where to point you, and I just wish you well. Yeah. You can't have light without dark, but you can have light without evil. And I live my life by that. And I encourage you to as well. Yeah. That's right. Okay. So, Mala history. Let me just teach you this really quickly, and then we'll get into our recitation tonight. Why 108 beads, right? What would be considered a mantra if you wanted to create one? A power word for you, right? Love, 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 love. Peace, 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 peace. Although I like Sanskrit. Do you know why I like Sanskrit? Yeah, I was going to say, Casey's like, we don't play with that here. Seriously, if I'm glad that makes you feel safe because I don't play that. It's the hard line I draw in my practice. I have come face to face with it before, and I will not engage it. I don't have to. So I speak from some experience, and let me tell you, you don't want it. It's real bad. Okay, so at least I know what I'm protecting you from. A lot of people ask why 108 beads on a mala, and I'm going to explain that to you why, okay? There are 108 energy centers in your body, not 7. These are called nadis, N-A-D-I-S. Okay, that's the word I want you to know from Sanskrit. And what's really cool is a nadi is more than an energy center. It's an energy line. It is a flow within your body. It's a channel for your energy to move, right? Okay. But there's more than that, okay? So I want to share with you the rest of the 108s. Shanti means peace, by the way, right? Thank you for that. I will play with darkness with you all day long. I will. I'll look at your shadow. I'll dance with your shadow. I'll play with you. And I don't go to the other place. Okay. Here's some different ways people have described 108. Some people describe it as the complete energy of presence. The complete energy of presence. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, just let that roll around in your consciousness for a minute. The wholeness of the universe. I want to give you some math behind this in a minute, because for me, I guess, like, I go with the airy-fairy, but at some point I need proof. So I'm about to give you the proof. Right now I'm dealing in the airy-fairy. Okay? The distance of the sun and the moon to Earth. Are you ready? This is where it gets really interesting to me. The distance, so sun and moon, their distance to Earth, is 108 times their diameter. Yeah, okay. The diameter of the sun times 108 is the distance between sun and Earth. The diameter of the moon times 108 is the distance between the moon and Earth. So there is a triangle between sun, moon, and Earth that is represented by 108 times their width. And they knew this, you guys. And this is why I tell you, when we go, oh, those Hindus 4,000 years ago, those poor people who God knows what they knew, they didn't have technology. Are you kidding me? Then explain to me how they knew that if you multiplied the diameter of each of those very different planets, by the way, times 108, it would be their exact distance from our planet. That's why when people go, oh, the ancestors, we're so much wiser than them. And I'm always like, no. No, we're not. Yeah, that's 108. Now, here's how in the Vedas they describe this, okay? It's really true, Martha. Nobody prior to us was poor, and they did have tools. And guess what? And I'm sure, Martha Reyna, you agree with this. They had better tools than we do. I absolutely think our ancestors look down and go, how did they do that without the aliens? And then they're like, well, at least they do plant medicine. Some of them. Like, how do they do it without us? How do they do it without the sky gods? And we're like, how did they do it without cell phones? And it's like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Well, I think they did have technology. I think they did. And I think it surpasses anything that we have today. They had better tools, better access, better faith. I mean, we know a lot. And I'm going to teach this to you in Soul Shift next year with alchemy. Your intro to alchemy class is going to lay a lot of this stuff bare. They had access to knowledge about frequency that we are still catching up to. And this is how the entire, pyramidic line up the Giza in Egypt was constructed. It was through sound. And we still don't understand how to operate sound. We don't know how to use frequency. We're still catching up. And this is now, thousands of years later. Thousands. And we're like, I think I understand 432. And it's like, you totally don't understand 432, right? Okay. Now, there are 108 lines of energy in your body, okay, called these nadis. And the nadis, this is what's interesting. Your fourth chakra, your heart chakra, is the filter for that energy. So each one of these 108 lines supplies energy to all 7 chakras, but every line of the 108 crosses through your heart. It's the only chakra in your system through which all 108 lines cross. So when I tell you your heart's important, your heart's the center, your heart should be the center of your decisions, your heart should be running the show, how you feel, not what you think. you know, oh, I think I like that person, but I feel nervous around them, then you should leave them alone. You know, I think I want that job, but I feel like maybe it's not right for me. You should run in the other direction, right? So your heart chakra is actually as the fourth and central chakra in your sushumna, your central column. It is the filter for every other energy that moves through any of your chakras. And so for me, this is the origin of cardiovascular disease, is energy blockages that aren't being addressed, ultimately because the heart is such a pivotal organ in your system, and because energetically is such a pivotal part of your energetic system, and because it's the primary filter. If you don't address those blockages, you know, what happens to your heart? Why is heart disease so rampant in the US, right? Why do so many people suffer from heart attacks in our country? Because they're not addressing these underlying energetic blockages. Okay, now the Sri Yantra. Do you know what the Sri Yantra looks like? I think I have mine. Can I go grab it really quickly? I just want to show you really quick. Let me double check and see if I have mine. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I can't find my Sri Yantra. Let me see if I can pull one up on my phone to show you really quick, because a visual is kind of important. I meant to pull it out before we started, and there was just a lot going on today, so let me pull up a picture for you. Because if you haven't seen it, I mean, you'll recognize it, because you'll be like, oh, that's the Sri Yantra. No, let's not make this hard. I'm on somebody's Etsy page, but here we go. Here's a Sri Yantra. Thanks, you guys. It was hiding. Oh, no, wait. Jerry has a Sri Yantra tapestry on her wall at the head of her bed. So Sri is S-R-I, and Yantra is Y-A-N-T-R-A. Sri Yantra. No, that lapis symbol is different. That is the symbol of Sarasvati. It was a good guess, though. I haven't engraved the Sri Yantra on a stone. I probably should. So anyway, so let me show you. There are a total in the Sri Yantra of 54 lines. Each one of those lines is masculine and feminine. Equals what? 54 times 2 equals 108. Just like there are 54 letters in Sanskrit, each letter is both masculine and feminine, equals 108. So this is why I wanted to show you this tonight, because the distance of the sun and the moon to Earth is 108. The number of lines in the mark of creation, the Sri Yantra, is considered to be one of the fingerprints of creation. It has 54 lines times 2, and Sanskrit has 54 letters times 2 is 108. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, we should make it. I've never done it, but, you know, maybe there's a time for everything, so. Okay. Do you have any questions about why there's 108 beads in a mantra or in a mala? So your mala has 108 beads total, including what they call the Guru bead or the Krishna bead. Some malas have 108, and then they have the Guru bead, which makes it 109. Both types are okay. You cannot have 107 beads in a mala. It's very important. So you either have 107 plus 1, or you have 108 plus 1, which is the Krishna bead or the Guru bead or the God bead or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it probably does. And that's saying it correlates to the pyramids too. Probably does. I mean, listen, if it's in the Sanskrit language, if it's in the Sri Yantra, if it's in your body, I'm sure it is replicated in the pyramids and many other sacred early structures, right? Makes you want all the things, doesn't it? Okay, so 108 you must have, and that's because when you say a mantra 108 times, it fills every cell in your body with that vibration. And again, I wish my 20-year-old self had known that Ram. Think about this too. Do you ever get just, I mean, I'm a word person, right? Who's the god of the sun in the Egyptian pantheon? We're going to study Egypt all the way through 2021 in Soul Shift as part of alchemy, because Egypt is alchemy, right? Alchemy means Al-Kemet, and Kemet is Egypt. So Al-Kemet, alchemy, came from Egypt. And so we're going to be talking about nothing but pyramids and Egypt and Thoth and all of that for the next 6 months as I get you into our program. So Ra is the god of the sun. The sun is the ruler of the solar plexus. What is the solar plexus seed mantra? Isn't that cool? Ram. Okay. The last thing I wanted to tell you, and then we'll do our recitation. Isn't that cool? My passion in life, so you know, is connecting all the dots, because they all connect. One day you'll realize everything was related. Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, Greece, Rome, Tibet. It's all connected by 1,000 strings, right? It's like we're all here just starting to figure it out. Like, oh yeah, the solar plexus mantra, that's the chakra ruled by the sun, is named from the Vedas, which preceded Egypt, and yet it's named for the Egyptian sun god, so they must have known about the Vedas. They must have understood Sanskrit. Right? Pretty fun stuff, right? Wait, what just happened? What did I do? I hit something. Nope. Hold on. I shut off my camera. How did I do that? Wait a minute. What did I do? Shit. Can you guys still see me? I can't see myself. Help. Wait a minute. Can you hear me? You can still hear me? Okay. Can Alexis please ping Dave and tell him that I shut my camera off? Shit. We have to have our camera. I mean, this will not work. Yeah, if somebody can ping Dave, he's at the office. I'm going to keep talking while we sort this out. Sorry, I don't know what I did. Shit. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Alexis, are you on it? Can you reach out to Barb for me? Barbara. No, I didn't block my camera. It's just I shut it off by accident. Hey, I'm live in class right now, and I shut my camera off by accident, so they can hear me. They just can't see me. Do you know how to turn my camera back on? The older camera that we've been using? Yeah, I clicked something and it went away. Sure. Okay. While we're getting assistance, I'm going to continue with you. So now you get to listen for just a second. The last thing I want to tell you about 108, I know, that's okay. Mercury's not even retrograde. The Buddhist traditions talk about 108 too. So this is why I think there's some real magic. So just focus and listen. Nick will be in here in a second to fix it, and it'll all be great. So for now, just listen and enjoy. Pretend you can see me. Okay, so this is fascinating, guys. They say that there are 108 delusions that humans suffer. Animals don't suffer these. Spirits don't suffer these. Only humans suffer these delusions. Are you ready? Can I read them to you? And then we'll do our recitation. Okay. Here are the 108 delusions of the human mind that only humans experience. Okay. Abuse, aggression, ambition, anger, arrogance, baseness, blasphemy, calculation, callousness, capriciousness. Can you come turn my camera on?
Of course. Are you live?
I am live. They can hear me, but they can't see me because I did something really magical with my camera.
I have
Look at
no
that.
idea what happened here.
Oh, I did something great. So great.
You just didn't load up the app.
No, I clicked something.
Well, you clicked the wrong thing. That's what you did.
Oh, look at that.
Huh.
I'm back. Clicky, clicky.
Yeah, click the right thing.
Okay. Nick fixed us. Okay, where was I? Can you see me now? 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 Okay. Did you hear him? He told me to click the right thing. He's such a good guy. Okay, good. Capriciousness, censoriousness. It means being critical of others. I'm going to continue with my list of our mental challenges that we face as humans. They're called delusions of the mind that only humans face, okay? Conceitedness, contempt, cruelty, cursing, debasement, deceit, deception, delusion, derision, desire for fame, dipsomania, which is alcoholism characterized by intermittent bouts of craving, discord, disrespect, disrespectfulness, dissatisfaction, dogmatism, dominance, eagerness for power, effrontery, which means bad behavior, egoism, enviousness, envy, excessiveness, faithlessness, falseness, furtiveness, gambling. I do like to gamble. I really do. I'm really good at blackjack. Garrulity, talking about stuff that doesn't matter, is garrulity. Gluttony, greed for money, grudge, hard-heartedness, hatred, haughtiness, high-handedness, hostility, humiliation, hurt, hypocrisy, ignorance, imperiousness, imposture, imprudence, inattentiveness, indifference, ingratitude, insatiability, insidiousness, intolerance, intransigence, being unwilling to change your views, irresponsibility, jealousy, know-it-all, lack of completion, laziness, lecherousness, means being a naughty, naughty person. I don't know. Do any other animals gamble? Lying, malignancy, manipulation, masochism, mercilessness, negativity, obsession, obstinacy, oppression, ostentatiousness, pessimism, prejudice, presumption, pretense, pride, prodigality, means spending your money unwisely. I'm guilty of that too, probably. I've bought some weird shit on Amazon this year. I'm just going to come clean. It's weird shit. I mean, it's nothing I wouldn't tell you about, but it's just weird. You know what I mean? Like, just weird. It's a coping mechanism, I'm sure. But, like, sometimes things arrive and I'm like, Did I really buy these like weird tops for my mason jars? Did I really buy that? Quarrelsomeness, rage, rapacity, ridicule, sadism, sarcasm, seducement, self-denial, self-hatred, sexual lust, shamelessness, stinginess, stubbornness, torment, tyranny, unkindness, unruliness, unyielding, vanity, vindictiveness, violence, violent temper, voluptuousness. I can't help that I'm curvy. And wrath. I did buy some weird tops for mason jars, and I really don't know why I did that. It seemed like a good idea. Okay. Have you bought those too? So anyway, if you have any of those, reciting your mantra 108 times is going to help to clear all your naughties and get your naughty out of your naughties. If you have naughty naughties. Okay. So, are you ready to learn your Bija mantras? Why or how do I think this ancient knowledge was lost? You know, it's a fascinating question. I'm going to try to give you like the short answer, Jacqueline, or we'd be here all night. I think some of this knowledge was taken from us. And I also think that we are the first, this may sound bad, we are the first, in my opinion, species of humans who have not worked with psychedelics. The ancient Greeks had psychedelics, the ancient Romans had psychedelics, the Indians had psychedelics, the Egyptians had psychedelics. They were buried with them to help them into the afterlife. Everybody had psychedelics except for us. In Africa, they have psychedelics. In lots of different parts of the world, they still work with psychedelics, but not us. So that's my short answer. And why? You know, maybe we're meant to learn a different way. We're not meant to have what some people call the easy street, right? That psychedelics were the gateway for every civilization before ours. And then we were crushed by colonizers. That's true too. Well, I don't think we have as easy access to it because we don't have as many psychedelics. That's my theory. I mean, the burning bush in the Bible, right, is a plant medicine, right? Like even biblically, they had things, so we don't have things. But it's great because we're figuring it out on our own. I love that I don't need things to be wise. I kind of like it. My soul is unfamiliar with it because my soul has had other lifetimes where it's like, yeah, but you would just drink in ancient Greece, it was fermented hops, right? Every civilization had their fermented something that took them to Funky Town, right? So yeah, I think we're just behind because we don't have the like, we can't just plug in to the hard drive. So now we got to figure out our other ways to get there, and maybe it's a good lesson for us, you know? Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to bathe your chakras right now. So I want you to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time, get into a good clear headspace for this. We're going to recite 7 mantras 108 times, and we're going to do it in a row. We're going to open up all your nadis tonight. We're going to activate the bijas. We're going to do the whole thing from root to crown. Isn't that funny? It's so cool, Hillary. I love that. Well, I actually think, I mean, my big lesson of my life is that you don't need the plant medicines. I now can sort it without them, but I think our ancestors had a lot of them. So, my 2 cents. Okay. So each one of these seed mantras, I'm going to give it to you in Sanskrit and in English. So you can do the English if you don't want to do the Sanskrit, but the Sanskrit is 1 syllable, the English is 2. So the Sanskrit's going to be easier for you, but the English might be more comfortable for you. So I want you to recite whatever you want to recite. I'm going to do it in Sanskrit. I leave it to you what you want to do. So the first one for the root, I'm going to go through all 7, is LAM. L-A-M. LAM. Like llama without the A on the end. Okay? In English, it's I am. So you can say I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. Or you can say lam, 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 lam. Okay? The sacral chakra is Vam. And the English is I feel or I create. I create, I create, I create, I create, I create. Or Vam, 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 Vam. Solar, we already talked about, is Ram. Ram, 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 Ram. Right? Heart. Anybody remember our Yam challenge in Soul Shift from the beginning of the year? Yam looks like yam, Y-A-M, but it's yam. Yam, 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 yam is your heart chakra. Or for the heart chakra, it's I love. At the solar plexus, it's I do. I do. The throat chakra is hum. Looks like ham, but it's not. It's hum. If you want the English, it's I speak. And so I hold my mala. I'm going to begin with the first bead up here. And I'm going to end with the guru bead. You can start with your guru bead or you can end with your guru bead. I just typically end with my guru bead, so I'm just kind of used to that, okay? So do you see what I'm showing you? This is the guru bead. So this is where I end. I start at the left and I start counting here. So if we're doing the root chakra, you're going to start here and you're going to go lam, 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 and we're going to go and keep turning 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 until we get back to that guru bead. If you go all the way around, it's 108. Does that make sense? So I'm going to show you. So lam is the root. English is I am. Vam is the sacral. English is I feel or I create. Ram is the solar. The English is I do or I will, if you prefer that. Heart is yam. English is I love. Throat is hum. English is I speak. Third eye is om. English is I see. Crown is also om. English is I understand. I see, I understand. I see, I understand. Doesn't matter left or right. Some people who are left-handed feel more comfortable. Like Zoe starts to the right. She's left-handed. And so she goes to the right when she's reciting her mantras. I'm right-handed, so I go left. I don't think it really matters. I've never had a teacher tell me it matters, so I think you should go with your flow. You guys ready? Do you have all your Sanskrit and your translations and you're ready? Okay. So let's begin. So we're going to start with the root. We're going to go 108 times. And as we're saying the root bija mantra, I want you to really notice your connection to the floor and to the earth. This is an earthing, grounding mantra. As you say it, and I'm going to guide you through the whole thing, so you'll be ready. And this will all be in your notes too. Yeah, whatever your natural pull is, I like that. I haven't heard of Sham for the third eye, or maybe I have, but I haven't had teachers who use it, but that's interesting, Cindy. We did talk about Gam, but it's, again, most people use Om for the, and Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha is one of the mantras to Ganesha too, and I think we were using the Om Gam mantra for Ganesha earlier in the year. Bonnie's cat ran off with her mala. Okay, so anyway, you're ready, and I will guide you through them. So we're just going to do the standard bija mantras, but you will see some variation in these, to Cindy's point too. So, okay. So we're going to start with Lam. Now, as you recite, people may come into your mind. Past memories may come into your mind. Just notice them. Don't get stuck on it. If a person comes into your mind, for me, I always just send them breath of love. You know, it's like if my mom pops in, or a neighbor pops in, or a friend pops in, I just kind of notice and just send them love and send them on their way. Yeah? Yeah, so, and if you want to do a different one for your crown, you totally can. So it depends on if you have a tradition already and you want to stay with what you've learned, you can do that too. Okay, you ready? We're going to start with Lam for the root. So it looks like this. We're starting over here. Here's the big bead. We're going to the left. Lam, 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 and touch the beads so you keep track of where you are. Lam, 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 lum, 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 lum. Ooh. Okay. And just notice how you might be a little bit softer, a little bit more relaxed. Now, notice how your root chakra feels, right? Ooh. Yeah. Just a little bit more soft, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more connected. Yeah. It's okay, and honestly, Beth, just stay with it and stay with your, wherever we are in the mantra, right? It's okay if you skip one. So if you're having anxiety, it's usually it depends on what's causing your anxiety. So what I would say, if you have anxiety, notice which one brings you a little bit of a comfy feeling. And that's right at the end. I always say Om Shanti 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 Om when I'm all done with mantra. So we'll do that tonight at the end of the crown. Woo! Yeah, I love seeing your experiences. Feels good, doesn't it? So, okay, so let's go to our next mantra, which is our sacral chakra mantra. This is Vam. I do use my index finger when I'm reciting mantra, just sort of out of habit. So if you prefer not to, that's okay too. I noticed some of you saying you use your middle finger and your thumb to go through. So that's fine too, if that's your tradition and your training. So you can kind of follow your intuition and see what feels good. Yeah, and you can incorporate essential oils. One of the things I like to do with my tassel too is take just a little bit of oil. I only have a couple of little vials of oils here in my space, but you can take a little bit. This is a mixture of Return and Medicine Space, and so you can just sort of wipe the oils or brush the oils onto your tassel, and it holds the scent. Yeah. So index finger and thumb is okay. That's right. Doesn't it feel good? You can whisper it. You can say it in your mind. You can just let me say it, you know? So, yeah, so that's one thing you can do with your tassel is sort of anoint it with your oils, and it will hold the energy of them. Okay. The next one is Vam for your sacral chakra. Are you ready? So here we go. And just feel that energy of creation flowing through as you activate this chakra. This is desire, creation, Shakti energy, right? So here we go. Vam, 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 vam. It's pretty powerful. Oh, I like it. And I will tell you, most of the tassels are silk. Everything I have at Sage Goddess and yours is silk, and this one. So silk holds scent forever. It will always smell like whatever you anoint it with, which is pretty cool. Okay, so did you feel that one? Feels good in the lower. So your lowers are kind of open now and soft and active, so this is good. Now this next one is your solar plexus. This is the one around confidence. This is my chakra of choice from the energy work I have to do. So I'm constantly trying to heal my solar plexus. Did it make your blood pump? And you can totally move your body. I mean, sometimes I feel called to move into those lower chakras when I'm reciting, right? So, and you'll know which chakra is your chakra to work on when we get to solar plexus now. This is my work, right? So, and it's good. Don't feel nervous. You know what, Valerie? Just take a deep breath. Like, you cannot mess this up. And there's no really, I mean, there's not a wrong way to do it, but there's not necessarily a right way to do it either. And so it's really just about connecting with the sound and the energy, right? I see you, Michelle. And I love that. Days imagining this chakra color and where it's located, that helps too right now. All right, let's get into the solar plexus. You ready? So this one is Ram, like the god of the sun. It'll help you remember. And here we go. Feeling the core. You're strengthening your core now energetically. Ram, 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 rum, 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 rum. Ooh, now we're going to move right into the heart. We're just going to keep going through the bath. It's okay if you count more than 108. It's okay. Just relax into this. You'll find your flow. I want you to enjoy it, you know what I mean? So don't get hung up on the math, or do I do it right, or am I saying it right, or just be in the moment. You'll find your flow. Yeah? Okay, here we go with Yam. This is your heart chakra opening now, and you're creating a better filter, a cleaner filter for all of the energy lines that are flowing through your body. So let's open and heal the heart with Yam. Yam, 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 Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, and remember, yawning doesn't mean you're tired. Thank you for that, Karen Brown. Yawning means you're running energy. Yawning, crying, sweating, farting, burping. Those are all ways of clearing energy. So let the tears flow, let the farts go. Whatever it is. I yawn. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We're going into the throat. Hum. If the throat chakra is your business, some of you it is. Mine is fine, right? You'll know. You felt it, right, Jess? Oh, yeah. Now we're going to start. Now we're talking about it. I'm going to start yawning. Here we go. We're almost there. Hum, 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 hum. And if you have trouble remembering hum for the throat, remember that the throat chakra is the 5th chakra. And in Arabic, Hamza means 5, right? 5 fingers. So that's why the Hamza symbol is a hand with the 5 blessings. So just like Ram is associated with the sun, and that's a solar plexus, Ham is the Hamza. So that's your 5th chakra, it's your throat. It's all connected, tell you that. Okay, so now we're going to do Om, and we're going to do it twice. Can you get a full meal? Rum, yams, hams, lambs. And this is why I love you, because I can roll with that too. It's a lot. That's why I have 7-Up, or it's good to have tea if you're gonna do. I mean, we're really going for the gold tonight. You know what I mean? I love that, Jess. I know he is. It's beautiful. Here we go. Hamza. Okay, so now Om 2 rounds. 1 for the third eye, 1 for the crown. Are you ready? I'm so glad you're here. And happy graduation. What a day to end it. Your chakras are going to be so aligned after this. Holy shit. This is the ultimate chakra alignment exercise. But very few people have the tools, wisdom, and the patience to do it. So you did a good job tonight. I kind of forced you to do it. Food's my friend too, and I do love some rum. So here we go. With Om. Third eye now. We're opening that screen. Om. um, 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 burp it out. I love it. Fernando says my sinus headache is going away. Cheers to that. Oh. And Julie feels her mom. I love it. Oh, I see you, Tracy Kennedy. Mm-hmm. Isn't it just so right, Casey? It's like, let's go into 2021 fully aligned, my friends. Seriously. Right now you are working with magic that is as old as time. And that's why it's so important, no matter how modern and special and different we think we are. The old wisdom is still alive. So if it feels heavier or denser or a little bit harder to move, it's probably your chakra area that needs work. Like my solar plexus is always my chakra that needs work. So, yeah. So that was your third eye clearing. Now let's go to that crown. Now this is gonna might make you feel a little bit buzzy. So just be aware of that, because now we're in the upper chakras and we're activating them and we're connecting with the sound of the name of God. So this is a really powerful conclusion that really connects you with your source creator, however you think of that energy stream. Yeah? Ready to get tingly one more time? Are you ready for that? I'm ready for that. Okay. And here we go for the crown. Om. 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 Um, um, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. It's the beginning and the end. It's the beginning and the end. Sure can, Lauren. I mean, the recitation of this changes everything. It changes your frequency, it changes your space, it charges your tools, it protects you. I mean, I can't even begin to describe all the different things that this work does. It changes everything about the energy of everything. Oh, I'm so glad. That's why I'm telling you, I think that we are learning as a civilization that we don't need psychedelics, that through the recitation of mantra, through yoga practice, through drumming and through sound and working with frequency and crystals and, you know, aromatherapy and herbs and, you know, and non-psychedelic herbs, the mushrooms and all of the, you know, and not even the psychedelic mushrooms, but like the reishis and the chagas and everything that we have access to and the moringas. I think we're figuring out how to do this work without that you know, fast track, which is very powerful. Did you feel that one out of your crown? Like, I would love for you to just like lay down if you feel called. You can still listen to me, but like if you feel like you want to lay down, get a pillow, just get really comfortable, just close your eyes, you know what I mean? Like, that's okay too. I'm gonna conclude our class and do our honey jar for our blessings for our class as we conclude tonight. Yeah, you know, it's really something. So just take a moment, just relax, enjoy. You don't have to be super present for anything right now. So be fully in this moment. Like, if you could lay down and close your eyes right now, I bet you'd get a really good night's sleep. And so one of the things I'm going to tell you is that a lot of people keep their malas by their bedside. This can just stay right next to your bed. Before you go to sleep tonight, Om, just do your crown chakra. Or if you're anxious, just do your root chakra. Lam, 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 lam. It's amazing. And then your kids will start to do it. They'll be like, Mom, you seem stressed out. Lam, 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 lam. Om, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's so many mantras. I mean, there's mantras for almost everything. So tonight what I wanted to introduce you to was how to work with mantras for your chakras, right? To really create a full alignment experience. And the part of the reason I gave this to you tonight as the kind of the culmination of our crystal healing work together is, like I said to you before, I've been disappointed in almost every crystal healing session I've ever had. Almost every one I've been disappointed by, which is partly what led me to teach a crystal healing class. They have felt kind of clinical and sterile, and just like somebody putting crystals on me and then just like, and then I just lay there. I mean, it always felt kind of, I wasn't happy with the crystal healing sessions that I've had in the past. And I think one of the things that you can do that's different is when someone comes to you, you can introduce them to mantra and to how to work with the mala before you even get them on the table, before you even start to, somebody comes in and they're all nervous, get them into mantra. It's going to completely prepare them so that when you then have them get on the table or lay on the floor or lay on the mat, right, and you start to do your crystal healing work, they're in a totally different mindset. They're not laying there wondering what's going on. They're completely relaxed, right? So let's talk about that. So LAM is for the root chakra. That's fear. That's being afraid, right? That's being nervous. It can be anxiety. Because a lot of times anxiety is like upper chakra stuff, so you need to activate the root. So let's go through each one of them and talk about when they might be best to use. VAM is going to be one for somebody who is either having, procreation issues, fertility issues, or it can be for anything related to the solar plexus, bringing more creativity and inspiration. Maybe they feel blocked energetically, like they don't have ideas for things, they just feel uninspired. It's like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And you can get them into the sacral with VAM. Solar plexus is, oh my God, I can't believe you said that to me. I feel like attacked by that person, or, my self-confidence is down. I don't have self-esteem. That's going to be your RAM. Yam is loss, grief, heartache, trauma, opening and activating that heart, or just feeling like the energy isn't flowing through the system, right? So because the heart is the center, so you're going to want to open up that heart chakra. And pain, Kimberly, just depends on where the pain is. So you might want to also, like if they're having headaches, then you may want to focus on the crown, or to balance them, you may want to focus on the root. Throat chakra is Ham. Somebody who's just like, doesn't feel like they have a voice, or nobody wants to hear their voice, or, they've been silenced. They don't feel like they're living in their authentic truth. That's where you're going to get them into the throat chakra mantra. VAM can be used for spinal pain too. And in fact, if you're going to do spinal stuff, I would go from LAM to HAM up to the throat, which is basically the end of that column. So I would do the first 5. And then if it's the upper vertebrae in the spine, then you can sort of localize, right? If their third eye is blocked or they feel completely disconnected from source, it's just It's just right? I can't see. I don't know. I've lost my gift. What happened? I feel so far away from God. Where is God? All those things. So yeah, Yam is going to be for emotional pain. For spiritual pain, it's Anger, it depends on what the anger's about. Because anger's never just about anger, right? Anger always masks another emotion. Anger is usually grief and deep sorrow that the person doesn't know how to express as sorrow, so they get angry and rageful. So you got to get underneath. When you have a client who's angry, anger's never anger. Anger is always something else masquerading as anger. So is it grief? And what I do with anger is I push on it. You know what I mean? Like when people are like, oh, I'm just mad. It's like, okay, so show me that mad. What does that mad look like? Give it a name, give it a face, give it a temperature, give it a color. Who are you mad at? Why are you mad at them? Tell me more about that. Well, they shouldn't have done that to me. They don't have the right to treat people like that. Then you start getting underneath. Okay, so you've been mistreated. Is it solar plexus? Yeah, and then he broke my heart. It's like, you don't have the right to break people's. Oh, now we know we've got heartbreak, right? So you got to start going, okay, so give me this anger. I want to start to. It's like, have you ever had a knot in a necklace? This is how I think of anger. If you've ever had a knot in a necklace, you gotta pull that knot apart to see really how to fix it. You can't just sit there and pull it tighter, right? You gotta go, okay, so what's in here? Let's look around in your suitcase, right? Okay. Woo. So with that, my friends, Crystal Masters 2020. It's so weird. We're done. It's so weird. Woo. It gives you one more tool in your toolkit. That's my goal for you. When you have a problem, or when a family member has a problem, or a friend has a problem, I want you now to have 10 different things you can do out the gate before you put them on the table and just say, hold this crystal. That's not good enough, right? There's so much more to it. I know. Well, we're continuing next year. If we weren't continuing next year, I would be straight up hysterical right now. So the only reason I'm still smiling is I know I get to see hopefully a lot of you next month. Which, by the way, 2021 is open for reg. If you don't do anything, it's going to continue. So if you want to stop doing Crystal Masters, you actually have to cancel now. And you can cancel like tonight if you're all done. I just don't want you to be charged for January if you aren't continuing. If you don't do anything, it will just, your membership will continue. The price is staying the same and everything. So the only thing you have to do is if you want to change to Soul Shift, you have to upgrade. And if you want to leave, you have to cancel. So just a reminder about all of that. There are some technicalities you have to consider now about what you're doing after this. So if you're continuing, I'll see you. If you're not, I want to say thank you for being here, because I loved teaching you this year. It was one of the most enjoyable teaching experiences I've ever had, and Alexis has loved it too. So we both want to thank you so much, truly, truly. And yeah, and I'm excited as we continue our journey. So, and now ceremony, my favorite part. Yeah, so you can take your time. You have all the way until December 31st to figure out what you want to do. But if you know that you're not staying, I just don't want you to, like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to, like, forget to cancel. Then you're like, why am I still in Crystal Masters? So you just got to make sure you figure that out. Okay, so let me explain what this is. These are all of the names of the 2020 Crystal Masters graduates. Isn't this exciting? So I printed these out and I'm putting them into our jar. But first, before I do that, I'm going to switch the camera. Nope. Like that. So this generator has been charged to expand your wisdom, to hold the energy and the wisdom of this year, and to magnify your healing capacity, your healing talent, your healing wisdom. I know it sounds crazy. Usually what I do with these honey jars is bury them. So it's kind of like a time capsule. So I am saying goodbye to these crystals permanently as I place them into the jar tonight. So this represents your expansion and your magic. And there it is. Woo! And now on top of that quartz point, I place you. Your name is in the capsule. I'm so glad you're graduating too. This is a big deal. And like I said, this is a real graduation. And you took this weird year and you turned it into achievement. It's remarkable what you've done. I'm so proud of you. I'm beyond proud of you. Most people took this year and it was just like, well, 2020 is what it is. You turned around and said, what can I make of this year that's going to create even deeper, blessings and prosperity for me and my family? It's a big deal. Yeah, you just dig a big hole. Okay, so now I'm putting in Peach Moonstone. May you always be creative in how you work with those you will work with as a crystal healer. May you always be creative. find creative answers, hear creative messages from your spirit guides. And may you always be prosperous and abundant. May you enjoy wealth and prosperity. May you be paid handsomely for your talents. And may you have every financial, material, and human resource you need to make your dreams come true. May money find you easily and from all directions so that you never have to want. That is my next wish for you. I'm placing them at the 4 directions. Next comes Tanzanite. I wish you clear vision. I wish you the ability to trust your intuition at all times, even if it seems crazy, because you know it's always right. And may your third eye always be open. May your gifts expand and grow. And may you always know how to use them. That's right. You grew in 2020. You achieved in 2020. I mean, who's done that? I'm so proud of you. And then, blue-green kyanite, which doesn't look very good, but it is very good. It's a better shot of it. Blue-green kyanite for balance and alignment. May you always be aligned and balanced. And may you enjoy perfect balance of health in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. Perfect balance of emotional harmony in your life, in your relationships. And when you're out of balance, I hope you easily find your way back. I set the intention tonight that your spirit guides will guide you back, that your family and loved ones will guide you back, that your own soul, your higher self, will be a voice in your ear guiding you back. May you always find your way back. I don't know if my name is in the jar. But you know what? I don't think it is. Karen Brown. Is it okay if I just write my name on a little piece of paper and add it in? I didn't think of myself. Such a mom, right? Did you eat? No. Did the kids eat? Yeah. I got you, babe. Because Alexis is graduating tonight, too. You may already be on there, Alexis, but if you're not, you are now. Love you. I did. I did it before anybody said anything. You and me are tied at the hip in there, Alexis. Ooh, this is the intense part, the emotional part, man. This is also the sticky part. That's the fun part. Sticky. It's not real classy, but you know, in a professional show, this would have happened before we went live. You ready? I do feel like I graduated this year, too. I'm good. I love that you guys are looking out for me, though, and not judging me for being ghetto and ripping that off with my teeth. I did that. But it's okay. My mom would be upset. She would be like, I paid for braces. Be careful with your teeth. Oh, God. It tastes real good. So, as we pour honey in a jar, let me explain if you don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm sweetening your blessings. It's really true. This is an old tradition. I am sweetening your blessings. I don't know if it's organic and raw, because it is raw, but I don't know if it's organic. It's really hard to get things right now because of COVID, so I don't know. Again, don't judge me. This is an imperfect world. Okay, good. Thanks, Stephen. We love you too. No, my mom would seriously be like, I understand why you're doing that, but watch your teeth. And I would love her for saying that. Okay. We're not finished. Oh, this one came off real easy. Whatevs. It made me work for it first. That's all right. I'm not afraid. So I'm asking the universe to sweeten your blessings, to expand your blessings, to send them on the four winds to everyone who needs you. And as I do this, I'm also setting the intention that everyone you will work with who needs what you have, what you make, what you know, what you love, that they will find you so easily. You won't have to hunt for them or search for them. You'll just magnetize them. You'll find them energetically. Your vibration will resonate in alignment with theirs. It's gonna overflow any second onto that paper. It's coming up the sides. Do you see it? It's so cool. This is all energy work now. And if you want, you can visualize with me. I will bury this afterward. In the parking lot at SG. I will bury it. In the east. Do you see it coming up the side? Isn't that cool? You're all sweetened up in there. May everyone who needs you find you easily, effortlessly, from the four directions. Just knowing that you are everything that they need at this time for their healing. And may you be blessed by each person you come into contact with. I love you guys. I really do. I sincerely adore you. And I'm so in awe of you. And have so much respect for you. Truly. Each of you is remarkable. And you will be the first. Previous jars were buried at our old location. This will be the first jar buried at our new location. You are the first class of the new space. And there you go. Everybody's blessings are now covered. You have to cover every inch of whatever you're including here. Nothing can be left above the surface. That's the rule with the honey jar. You have to cover every inch. That's the most important thing. And I wanted you to see it. I could have done this last bottle afterward, but there's just something about finishing the process. I'm kind of a stickler about that. So I wanted you to see it completed. And that's us, including me and Alexis. That is a year in review. And now you're floating. As you should be. You should be floating because of the mantra, and you should be floating because you're floating in honey. No, I'm leaving the jars in the old space. They're buried pretty deep. Yeah. Thank you for your kind and beautiful words. I really appreciate it. We did it. And together we say, are you ready? It's so hard. I'm going to miss you guys until I see you again. Together we say, one last time, say it with me, Alexis. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Amen. Aho. And so it is. I see you. I'm so grateful for you. This is us. And we became sweeter in 2020. We didn't get hard or bitter. We became sweeter. We achieved rather than just giving in and letting go and surrendering. We rose instead of falling into old patterns and fear. And we did that together. And I love you and I'm proud of you. And I wish you abundance in all forms. I truly do. And I wish for your health. I pray for your health and well-being. Don't forget, everybody in this group is over here on my healing altar. And you will remain there, no matter whether you're in programs or not. So I keep you and your family on my healing altar too. We did that together. Do you remember? We activated that healing grid. I've not touched it since. It sits right there in that cabinet. Thanks, you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And so remember, if you don't have a mala and you would like one, we did give you 20% off. The code is graduation 20. And I think we have 3 malas left on our website. I think we have lepidolite for, relaxation. We have clear quartz for magnification, and then we have smoky quartz and garnet. This is my favorite of the 3 for grounding. Or you can make your own, or you can shop on Etsy or support another artist, you know what I mean, if you want to find one. So that's our gift to you, but there's lots of places to get malas, or make your own mala too, which I really want to encourage you to try. I really do. Thanks, you guys. I know, I don't want to go yet, because it's like hard to believe that we're really, really done. But I will say it one more time. I appreciate you. You are incredible. And I just honor you tonight and all that you've done this year. You should be so proud of yourself. Please celebrate this. And then your certificate will come to you, as Alexa said, in January. It's free. You just have to pay for shipping. We print it. Gabriel designed it. It's beautiful artwork. It has the same Crystal Masters logo on it. And so that'll be ready for you in January. Although you can immediately put this on your resume, on your LinkedIn. You are a certified crystal healer, 2023 Sage Goddess, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. All right, and cheers. I'll see you soon, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening, and take good care. I'll see you soon. I know, like I said, I would be hysterical if we weren't continuing. So on that note, I will look forward to what the future